Would you rather roast marshmallows or hot dogs over a campfire?
Marshmallows all the way.
I knew you were going to say that. I totally had you pegged for that. And I actually am going to choose hot dogs over
Oh,
sugar.
uh,
I know.
whoa,
It's cray cray.
whoa.
Audio.
Welcome to Second Saturday, the podcast where every Sunday feels like a Saturday.
This is episode 24, and I'm Ainsley.
I'm Jan.
And today we're doing another Lodge Life deep dive because everyone really likes those.
I know
Um,
it's kind of interesting. Like it's just different, like how many people have lived at a lodge and have had lodge experiences. So I think it's kind of cool that we get to talk about them and stuff like
yeah,
that.
that's true. So we're gonna kind of talk about some camping experiences. Camping
Camping
at a
experience.
lodge. Camping not at a lodge, but at a lodge.
I know. And wait till you hear. Like I was
Yes.
trying to calculate just how many hours we actually like, quote unquote camped. And I feel like it was just over like 14 hours that
Yeah,
we
not
actually
long.
camped.
Camp.
There was another time, and I think I'll talk about this another time because this is, I mean, you have a different take on it, but there was a time that my husband and I, we took the pontoon boat out for 3 days and we
Mhm.
did a camping excursion on the pontoon boat, which was amazing. And
Amazing.
you, the grandparents were up, I think, and looked after you guys while we went out and toured the lakes for
I
3 days.
think so.
Anyways, it was one of the best vacations I've ever had, which
Yes.
is weird being on a 24-foot pontoon boat for 3 days. Awesome. Super awesome. But today we're going to talk about camping.
But first,
But
you
first,
you did not choose sugar.
I didn't choose sugar,
What is going on?
right? You know what? I think even before I've done this lifestyle change, I think I still would have chosen hot dogs
Really?
over marshmallows. I know. I'm going to get the haters, but that's okay. I am a hot dog person through and through. I love hot dogs. I will eat them 5 days a week if I could. I love hot dogs. And what I really like to do over the campfire is when you like take your hot dog and you kind of cut it halfway up and do the crisscross, and then you
Oh
just kind
yes.
of stick the hot dog on the skewer this way, and then all the little octopus feet come up. That's like my favorite. I love that. Like that's
Yeah,
and just a roasted hot dog instead of like on the barbecue or like fried in a fry pan. Oh, it just hits different. It's just so yummy.
that's fair. I do love a good roasted hot dog.
Yeah.
But I'm also not very much a hot dog person. Hot dogs is one of the foods that I have to want to eat in order to eat it and enjoy it. Like otherwise I don't feel too
Really?
good. And I prefer boiled hot dogs.
How did I not know this about you? See, you're
I
like your dad. Your dad prefers boiled hot dogs too.
I especially like I don't mind them over a campfire, but like barbecued or like fried in a frying pan. The frying pan especially, I'm not a fan of. I don't know what it is, but I just
Huh.
like a boiled hot dog I prefer.
Well, that's the difference between me growing up and my husband growing up, because my husband growing back up always had boiled hot dogs, and we always had fried hot dogs in the fry pan with some onions in it. But I did not realize that you preferred
Yeah.
boiled. Okay, but you chose
Marshmallow.
marshmallows.
Oh, I love a good marshmallow. I do agree. Marshmallows can be very sweet.
Yeah.
But a good marshmallow, and I like my marshmallows always burnt to a crisp or golden
Really?
brown or raw. I love a good marshmallow.
Oh, you just like it, doesn't
I just
matter.
like marshmallows.
Okay.
But I have learned some expert marshmallow toasting skills from the expert, which is you.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll be
Like
the
I
expert
think
today.
I think I mentioned this on when I was talking about like back in the fall, talking about being on set for that week. I think I
Yes,
mentioned that I was cooking marshmallows for everyone
you were.
because I was the marshmallow expert. But
You're the marshmallow master. You're the
yeah,
MMM, the
a good
marshmallow
marshmallow is just
master.
oh, and then like a s'more.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't think that one through, did you? You didn't think about the
No,
s'more
not
part.
really.
Yeah.
But listen, I am not the chocolate and graham cracker person.
No.
I want like the celebrations. It's a type of brand of cookie, and it's basically like a butter cookie or like a shortbread kind of ish
Yeah.
cookie, like, and it has chocolate attached to it. And I mean, it's easier, especially like
Yeah.
when you're camping and you've got little kids and you're doing that. Then you only have to take two things instead of three things and try and
It's a
keep
way to
everything
do it.
smushed. But and I don't like I like s'mores and I do like marshmallows, but I don't like them overburnt. So that's why I'm choosing my
Mm.
hot dog. But what I did learn this summer or later on this year, and I want to try it this year, is to take Rice Krispie treats and you stick them on your
Yes.
skewer
I
and you
love Rice
roast at that.
Krispies.
And then the marshmallow in the Rice Krispie treat kind of caramelizes. Heard that sounds pretty good too.
That does sound good.
Yeah, so I'd really like to try that. Um, and that'd be an easy one to take camping because you can buy the pre-packaged
Yeah, that's
ones,
true.
right? Really easy, but yeah,
Easy
okay. I
peasy.
mean, I can totally see you being a marshmallow girl
Yeah.
through and through.
I mean, I do love a good hot dog. I just have
I
to
was gonna say my
be in the
heart's
mood
hurt a little
for it.
bit.
I just have to
That
be I am more of a burger person.
okay, I'll
You give
take
me
that.
you give me a barbecued burger. Ooh, it's a good day. It's a good
And
day.
then we're talking.
Yeah, I mean, this
Then
is
we're
very
talking.
fitting. Oh, summertime. I miss summer. This is going straight into our weather report. I just got about a foot of snow
Yes. Well, wait,
last
before we
night.
do the weather report,
Oh,
we have to throw this out to our peoples.
oh, yes. Ah, I
Would
was so
you
happy
rather
with my
have
segue.
roasted marshmallows in the about the campfire, or would you rather have a roasted hot dog?
Yes.
So let us know. Put it in the comments, and let us know if you're Team Ainsley or if you're Team Jen on this one.
Yeah.
I really thought we would be the same, but
No. No. I
no, we're
did too.
not.
I thought
So
you'd choose marshmallow.
I know. So let's see. Let us know. Are you Team Ainsley or are you Team Jen on the marshmallow versus hot dog
Hot dog. Hot
campfire
dog.
debate? Okay. So weather report. You have got
Yes.
fun, interesting
We
stuff to
have
report for the
gotten
weather.
a
Finally.
massive dumping of snow. So we've kind of had snow for the last couple months. Like it hasn't really melted at all, but there hasn't been much of it. And we've gotten a little bit here and there and shovel the driveway, yada yada. But we got an absolute dumping of snow. Like a dumping that would fit back home. Like it was a lot of snow. I no longer have shin high snowbanks. They
Oh,
are now head height.
oh, that's
It
a
is
huge difference,
so
Ainsley.
much snow. And the problem with this much snow is there's nowhere to put it here.
Yeah.
Like I'm shoveling it, trying not to get it fully into my neighbor's yard, but also like where else am I supposed to put it? And
Where
we have
does
two
it go?
snowbanks at the end of our driveway that's like, where do I put it? Um, so I spent a good chunk of my morning this morning shoveling
Wow.
snow, snow, and more snow. And we shoveled last night too. We probably shoveled a good just under half a foot of snow last night. I would say a
Wow.
good 4 inches probably. Shoveled it and
That's
then
crazy.
woke up this morning to well,
More
like
snow.
well over 6 inches. So
Holy.
it was a lot of snow.
Listen, I can accommodate large dumpings of snow way better than you can in the
Yes.
city. So I really don't wish that on you. It's going to be probably several days of
Yeah.
cleanup before everything is really like transportable. Like you can move through the city.
Yeah.
I
Like
don't.
our driveway has just shrunk because you can only shovel it so far and it's just we have no room and then we're supposed to get more snow, I think, in a few days. Like there's just nowhere to put the snow,
Yeah.
which that part's hard.
Right. I get that. So I don't. I feel bad for you guys that you're having to deal with that right now.
Yeah. Otherwise it hasn't
Um.
been like terribly cold or anything. So
Okay.
that's good.
Well, that's good because that's where we're at.
Yes.
We have had beautiful, beautiful sunny skies, which is so nice, especially now that the days are starting to get longer. I'm really appreciating that. In the mornings, I've been taking the dog for a small little walk before I head to work. So earlier this week, it's just nice when you go out there and it's every day it's a little bit lighter. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then when I'm headed to work earlier this week, like we had beautiful full moons when I was driving to work, gorgeous, like almost full moons, but just
Yeah.
bright big moons in the sky and just gorgeous. But with that, has still persisted the ridiculous temperatures.
Oh,
Like in the mornings, I am driving to work and it's -34, just registering as a temperature, not even the wind chill.
no, thank
And it is
you.
warming up a little bit in the during the days. Like this past week, we would get up to maybe -25, feels like -29, 30-ish, -30. Um, but we're all getting sick of it. Like, even I mean, we're used to it. This is where we
Yeah.
live. Like, come on now. Like, don't why this can't be shocking to me.
I mean, I'm glad I'm not there.
Right? But it's like we're just tired of it. Like, I feel like this cold is now finally seeping into my bones. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so over the cold. We still have this, and I'm like, by the time this is done, because they're predicted to keep this into the middle of this week. So we'll have had this cold for like probably almost 2 weeks, which, I mean, enough. Like, we're
Yeah,
good.
that's quite wild to just be so cold that
It
you can't do
is.
anything.
No, you can't.
It's
It's just way
hard.
too cold. Um, And even like, yeah, like, I mean, I just feel so sorry for the kids at school because they're never outside right now. It's just like, and
Yeah, that's the
literally, I'm
unfortunate
starting
part.
my car or my truck 45 minutes before I head anywhere. Like, the amount of gas that I spend just on like warming my car up right now, it just hurts my heart. Oh, it's crazy. But, so we're still sitting here. I'm over it. I have now had to go again from my like smaller winter coat back to the big winter coat. So I got the big
Mhm.
big jumbo giant winter coat going on again. And I've actually been wearing my snow pants when I'm like traveling to work in the mornings just because
Yeah.
it's just too cold. It's
This is
ridiculous.
probably the first time I've actually been like in need of winter boots since living here.
Really?
Cuz like we've had lots of dumpings before, but it's never really affected me and I just had my little like boots on and they were
Yeah.
soaked. So,
Ooh.
some winter boots would have been helpful today.
You gotta go to the secondhand store, man, and get
That's true.
yourself like a one-time use winter boot.
My
That's what you
shoveling
need.
boots.
Yeah, you're shoveling boots.
My
It's
shoveling
shoveling boot
boots.
time.
It's shoveling time.
I love it. Oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah, it's just so like let's get going. Spring, come on,
I know, I'm
pitter
so ready
patter.
for summer.
They did say though, like I think we just had like a full moon in the last like several days, and they
Mhm.
did say, and I don't know if this is Farmer's Almanac or what it is, but I was talking to some people. I think maybe at curling. And they did say that after this moon phase is through, then it's going to be warmer, better times. But I don't know.
Ooh.
Maybe a moon phase just takes so long, anyways, that we're going to just naturally be into warmer times. I don't know. I believe them. It sounded good to
Yeah,
me. I totally bought in. So I'm like, okay, let's get through this moon phase.
let's do
Move
it.
on.
Let's do it.
So I don't know. They can be full of BS, but I bought it. I bought it.
You bought it.
So we're going to talk deep dive or Lodge Life deep dive today,
I
Ainsley.
feel that every time we have a really bad weather report, we seem to be talking about summertime.
Yeah. It just brings hope.
And like it's not even like we necessarily plan that cuz we can't predict the wind the
No.
weather, but it's just like it's almost crueler that way because now we're like, "Oh,
Oh, I know.
warm times." And then you
Oh,
go back outside and you're like, "Ooh,
I know.
cold."
I'm thinking back to that camping date. We're going to talk about a specific. I don't. Did we do more than one camping overnight camping at the
I
lodge?
know I did. I think there was a few times where maybe you didn't come because we had
I,
maybe guests in camp and
possibly.
but my brother and I really wanted to go, so our dad took us because I
Right.
do know of one time that just 3 of us went.
Well, and I know one time too,
Um,
your dad wasn't there, and the three of us we pitched the tent like 15 feet from the door of our cabin,
yes.
and it was not on even ground either. I think we all had like shunted to the
Yeah.
end of the tent by the end of it, but we did that one time too, which was kind of well,
I
whatever.
know there was one time I was quite young. Like we were at our first lodge still, so I would have been under 8 and my brother and I really wanted to sleep in the tent. Really
Yes, I was
wanted to.
thinking this.
So we set up the tent in the front yard, just a few feet from the step, but we
Mhm.
like we were quite young because if I was under 8, he's almost 2 years younger than me.
Yeah, you would've
So
been
we would have
6
been we were probably like I don't know 4, 6, 5, 7 somewhere in there.
ishes. Yep.
So quite young, and so we got this tent set up and we got all our stuff in there, and we're having a great time. And I remember we were trying to go to sleep, and we
Yeah.
could hear squirrels. The squirrels were going crazy, and it just freaked us
Squirrels.
right out. We were like, "Oh my god, a
Those
bear's gonna come get us!" Like, we're not like we just couldn't sleep. So I remember going in and we got you guys, and we dragged the tent. We
Mhm.
folded it like a little taco into our front door,
Didn't even
and set
take
it
it
up.
down.
No, we set it up in like the dining room we
The
had
dining
for the
room.
guests, and we camped in the dining room.
We moved the dining room furniture for our guests, and we put the
Yes.
tent in there. You guys had your camping experience
Yeah, because we
indoors.
wanted to camp so bad, but we were so scared to be outside. Uh, that was my first camping experience at the lodge.
I love that. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. Oh, yeah, I remember that too, and, like, the tent was literally, like, what, 10 feet from our bedroom door? But
Yeah,
you
oh yeah,
guys,
it
hey,
was
you were camping and you were
we were
having a great old
camping.
time, but, you gotta watch those squirrels. They're
Yeah,
deadly.
they'll get you.
They're
I
serial
can
killer
like so
squirrels.
clearly remember like wind and the squirrels and like I don't know what it was about the squirrels, but it just made it more eerie and it was like, no, there's animals out there. Like this is
Oh
the
my
end.
gosh. We lived in an island too, so, like, the
Yeah.
chances of something actually being on the island were
I don't
quite
think I don't think
low.
from like my well, I mean, obviously I was born when there was a bear in camp, but from my time for being able to remember to when we sold that lodge, I don't think we ever had a bear in camp.
We did.
Oh, we
We
did.
had a couple of
Never mind.
bears,
I lied. I was just not aware of
but
this.
you weren't aware of it. No, because they generally came in the evenings,
Mhm.
and, listen, we also did bear hunts, so we did have some bear bait on
Oh,
site,
that makes
and one
sense.
year they got into the bear bait.
I just know that it
Um
was less than on the mainland because it was an island, obviously.
Right. You might not have been born that first year then we had the bear, and then
Probably not, because then there was one when you
you
were
were under a
pregnant with my
year.
brother.
I was 5 months pregnant with my son, and we had a bear in camp. We'll go into that great
Yeah, that's
detail, another
another
time.
day.
But you were just, and trust me, that's a story and a half. Well,
Oh
we should
yeah.
have a bear story because I've done some really crazy
Ooh.
stuff being pregnant and being around bears. Like,
We
how
need no,
ridiculous am I?
we need like a pregnant one, because you did a
Right.
lot of things while
I did a lot
like
of weird things while I was
because
pregnant
you
at
were
the lodge.
pregnant
Okay.
with both of us at the lodge.
I'm writing this down.
She's writing it down.
Yeah, I am. So go ahead.
That'll be another one. But anyways, bears. We were terrified. They were just animals everywhere. Wasn't
Pregnant at
pleasant.
lodge. Bears.
Put bears and bats.
Bears and oh,
Oh,
the
see,
bats.
that's why I'm
Oh,
bringing this up.
oh, I love the bats.
That's why
Yeah,
I said we need
listen.
a pregnant one.
And the mice. Remember when we used to do
Oh
them? Oh
yes.
my goodness.
Listen,
Listen,
guys.
it wasn't
If
that
this,
rough. We have a few stories about this stuff, which is kind of silly. We did eradicate all of these weird
yes,
pests,
if
but it
this
was
is
a
an
challenge when we first had the
incentive
lodge.
to come back and hear these stories, then I don't know what is. Anyways, back to our camping.
Camping. Yes, we were camping. So we decided you guys were probably, I want to say maybe 6 and 8 at this point. There was a few years afterwards. And so you guys were begging and begging. We didn't have any guests in camp. This would have been later on, like probably in
I
August.
Yeah, yes. I
And
think the story you're trying to tell, we were at the second lodge.
yeah, we were.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, that 6 and 8 makes sense. Never mind.
Issues. Yeah.
I forgot my brother was so much younger than me when we moved over. I don't know why.
Yeah, so you guys were just had been dying and dying to go camping. And I mean, listen, we live on an island. We live in cabins anyways.
We
And the
camp
last thing,
we camp for a living.
right? Like literally, honest to God. And like the last thing we want to do, we have time to do is go camping.
Yeah.
Because there's a million other projects that have to be done around the lodge. Like, there's maintenance needs to happen. We're constantly building things and repairing things
Yeah.
and then prepping for fall and the winter. Like there was always stuff going on. Like we always had a task list that never ended. Like
Yeah.
it never ever stopped. So the last thing we really wanted to do was go camping.
Mhm.
But we did because we're good parents. So do you remember that day before we went camping, we went and did a tour around the lake because our lake was probably 6 miles wide by 8 miles long, I would say in total. And it was riddled with little
Yeah.
islands everywhere. We had a couple big islands because we lived on one, but we had tons of little
Like if
islands.
you think of your average like just think of it as if it was cluttered.
Yeah.
Like this lake actually now that you say that, it like compared to
There was
most
no big
lakes,
open water on that
no, there
lake.
wasn't. It was just all
Yeah,
islands.
which was why it was so fishable. Like you
Yeah.
never came into bad water. You always had a bay or, some spot to get in out of the wind. And there was always lots of, like reefs and all kinds of
Yeah.
good, good,
Fishing ground.
good fishing grounds. So I believe we went and staked out where we wanted to camp first. Did we not?
I think so.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember that too much, but it does sound familiar.
I remember because we went, so, if our lodge is up in, let's say, the northwest corner of the of the lake. So we did the tour. We went all down south and we looked at a million different islands. And, we're all like, oh, this would be a good one. And your dad's like, no, no, no. And so then we went all the way down around the south and then we came up over on the east side and then we came back over to the top north. And do you remember the island we settled on? Like you could almost see it from our lodge.
Yeah, it was really close.
So we had
It
driven
was
probably
very
for a good
close.
40 minutes all around the lake looking for the perfect spot to camp.
Yeah.
You could literally see it from our lodge, but whatever.
We were
So
happy.
we were happy. So that's fine. So we go back and we get all the camping gear that we need. And so we took a couple of tents because we only had a small 3-man tent, I feel.
Yeah.
And then we had a single tent as well, like a 1-person tent. So we took a couple of those things. I don't even know if we had sleeping bags. We just threw in some pillows.
Yeah, I think we just had blankets and pillows that we threw. Like we took our boat and they just threw everything in the boat.
We just threw everything in the boat. Yeah.
Just
there was no packing for this.
No.
And I feel like, did we go after supper? Because I don't even feel like we had supper out there. Like
I think we did go after supper because I'm pretty sure we went it was like a dark, dark situation. Like we went in the dark, we went in like the dusky evening,
Yeah, it was
and
dusky.
we got home
Oh my
in the
god, we got
dark
home
as
so
well.
early the next morning. We
Yeah.
weren't even I bet you we weren't even out there for
But
14
I
hours. We
think
camped.
yeah, I think it was
Super.
after, but I also think that I'm assuming we maybe had guests in camp and that's why.
No, I don't think we would have left if we didn't, but I
Oh,
believe we probably had guests coming back in. So we might have
something.
just had like
Anyways,
a
we
day
we
window or
did
something like
leave
that.
pretty late. Like it was after dinner because we didn't bring
Yeah.
any food with us really.
I think we brought marshmallows,
Well, probably.
and then I think your dad brought coffee and we
Yeah.
took bottled water. And that was
Yeah.
like, or did we even take water? Because we used to
Probably
drink
not.
the water right out of the lake because it was
Yeah.
so
It was
good.
very
Like
clean, yeah.
it was pretty clean. So anyways, we pile all the stuff into the boat. And so we've got the two kids, the dog, my husband and I. And so we get in this boat and we go over to this island. And so um yeah, so we get parked in there. We get the tents set up because I had planned you and your brother and your dad were going to sleep in the bigger
Yeah.
tent, and then I was going to sleep in the smaller tent with the standard poodle because
Yes.
that makes like a lot of sense.
With the doggy.
But we did. So we got there. It was around dusk. So I think you guys did some swimming first because it was a nice hot night out. So I
Yeah.
think that was like the risque swimming in the dark.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Risque. And then we came back and we roasted marshmallows and had
Because it
like a
was a
little
pretty like flat rock, basically, is what we were camping on.
it was, and like how big would that like
It wasn't very big.
it would have been like half the size of a football field,
Yeah,
the
probably.
whole island itself.
Probably.
It was tiny. It wasn't very
Yeah.
big. There was only a couple trees on it. But anyways, so that's fine. So then it's bedtime. We go to bed, and you guys were in your tent, and I will tell my side of my story because the dog was in there with me. So there we are, in literally like a one person tent. That's all it fits. So I have me and a standard poodle in there. And after about an hour, the dog breath in there has risen the temperature of the stupid tent to like 34 degrees. It was so bloody hot in there, and the dog is freaking out and panting. And I'm like, oh my God. So I unzipped the tent because there's mosquitoes too. So you had to keep the tent
Yep.
like zipped up because there were mosquitoes. So I let the dog out and he's wandering around, and then I zipped it back up, and I believe there might have been a thunderstorm that went through like to the north of us. It never
Mhm.
actually came over us, but we heard a bit of a thunderstorm. So
And
that was nice.
also, our dog at the time hated water, so he wasn't
Yeah.
gonna swim away without like
No,
there was no concern of him being on this
no,
little rock we were camping
no.
on.
He wasn't putting a toenail in that
No.
water. That dog
He wasn't
hated the
even
water back then.
I'm pretty sure we had to bring a bowl for him to drink his water. Because he
Probably we
at
did.
that stage in his life, he wouldn't even go to the lake to drink water.
No, he wouldn't.
So, just for
Oh,
anyone out there who fears our dog was gonna run away,
yeah.
he was not.
He was not swimming off to go anywheres. So anyways, so I think it was the middle of the night and I could hear him just rustling around and anxious outside. So I remember being in this little single tent and I rolled over and I unzipped the zipper about this much because
Couple
there were
inches.
mosquitoes out there. And I can remember I unzipped it and I went to open it and all I could see
The big
was
dog
this
eye.
giant dog eyebrow. Like eyeball. I was like, "Oh my God." And he literally was like laying right there and his eyeball was right there, like looking in the tent, just,
He's like, "Hey, mom, are you in there?"
my gosh, you're such an idiot dog. So that's how I slept the whole night. I left it open this much. I don't think that dog got a wink of sleep because all he did was look at me inside that tent, but he didn't want in it. It was just too hot.
Yeah.
And I just remember this giant dog eyeball staring at me through like the zipper that's open just like what,
Yeah.
an inch and a half because I didn't want to get any mosquitoes in there.
I mean, I don't think much happened in my tent. A lot of snoring probably. Like sleeping with
We
my
was.
dad in the little tent. Ay, 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 ay. But like I mean I don't remember a ton. I was still quite young, but I do
Yeah.
remember the trip and yeah, I don't think we were sleeping. We were sleeping on a rock, so it wasn't very comfortable.
It wasn't.
And we just had blankets.
I don't remember sleeping well. I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure I
don't
was
think
up
any.
most of the
Which I
night.
think is part of the reason why we left at like 6:30 in the morning.
I feel like there was only one person that really slept well,
That would have been my father
and that was your dad.
because he
That
could
man can
sleep
sleep through
anywhere.
anything. Bless his heart, he has got that skill down pat. I am so envious of that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyways, so we made it through the night because like
Mhm.
we literally got there probably what at 8, well, maybe
Yeah.
7 at night.
No, I would say closer to 8. And then I think we left I think we left before 7 the next morning.
Oh yeah, we were home by 7 the
Yeah.
next day.
Like we were like, okay, this was
The
fun.
sun came up, your dad got up, he made a fire, he boiled his coffee with his little percolator.
Yep.
And we had just a a little bit of a morning to sit out, which was fine. And then
Packed up.
remember when we packed it up to go? Your dad literally just picked up this
He picked
giant
up the
tent
whole
with
tent and just plopped it in the
and
boat.
he just set it all in the boat. We didn't undo one little tent peg, nothing. He just picked up the entire tent with everything in it and set it in the boat. I think I took mine down
Yeah.
and then we boated home. And I'm sure we were home by 7 a.m. so
Oh,
we could actually
definitely.
have
It
like a
was like
proper
the quickest
breakfast.
camping trip ever, but it was like, okay, we did that. That was fun.
Right?
Yay.
And we did have fun. Like it
Oh,
was,
it was a lot of fun. I
we
know I
did
went
it.
camping another night with just my dad and my brother. We had gone, I don't know if it was our original intention or what, but I remember we went out fishing first because we kind of like, it was kind of like
Oh.
a catch and cook, and we were going to eat our fish at the campsite type thing.
Mhm.
But I remember I made the fire, I think. Like I really wanted to make the fire.
Oh.
So I did that and went, got some rocks, and we found a bit of like a cliff ledge that we camped on, and we were like fishing
Mhm.
off of it. Because we made more of a moss bed for that one.
Oh, see, that's smart.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I still didn't
that's
sleep
smart.
well. There was ants everywhere, and I'm sleeping in a tent with my father, so they're snoring. And
I have never slept well in a tent before.
yeah,
I
and
don't know. Has
I was a
anybody
lot
out
older
there,
at
do
that
you
point
sleep well
too.
in a tent? Because I never have.
And you hear all the outside sounds,
I
and even
know.
like I grew up in like at the lodge. Like I from the
Yes.
day I was born, I was in the wilderness, and still camping in a tent is terrifying no matter where you are.
You know what? When your dad and I first started dating, we used to do camping trips and we would take his parents' boat and we would take a tent and we would take like, I don't know, like a 12 pack of beer and some eggs and we would go fishing. We
Yeah.
would do a fishing thingy. And I can remember being in the tent and we were just on a sand beach the one time. And I remember laying there in the middle of the night and I'm positive the Blair Witch is going to come and eat us both alive. Like I'm positive that we're going to die. So I'm up all night. I'm like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? And my husband, well, he was my boyfriend at the time, and he is just snoring away, having the best
Yeah.
sleep ever. So he would sleep at night, and then we would get up and we'd do stuff. And then about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I would have the best sleep of my life because I knew he was awake to
Yeah.
take, to fend off any Blair Witch project thingies that might come my way. But oh, yeah, I've never slept well in a tent.
Yeah.
But,
I
we had a lot of fun. Like it was
Oh,
a really
definitely.
cute,
Even
it
when
was
we
a cute
camped
night.
even when we camped just at the lodge 10 feet from our doorstep, like with you
Yep.
and the dog. That
Yep.
was a lot of fun. We had all our blankets in there, and we were
Oh,
all
stuffed
piled in
everything in
there.
there. Yep.
Because I remember that we had the tent set up for the rest of the day as well, like the following day, and
I think so,
we
yeah.
played around in there and stuff like
Yep.
that. But
And
that's my
listen, you
camping
made your own fun,
experience. Oh
right?
yeah.
That was our motto that whole time that we were that we lived at the lodge and on the
Yeah.
island and whatever. You made your own fun because that's
Because
the only
like
option that you
we
had.
were living, like we were camping. That was our living basically. But like it was just a different version of camping. That was fun.
Yeah, it was absolutely yes.
And it was something to
Um,
experience because like all of our friends, they would camp at like a little trailer park campground
mhm,
thing in the summer,
yep,
and we would go in the spring and the fall for like the like opening and closing. We'd go do that, but
yep,
like it always seemed so fun, and so I feel like that's maybe part of the reason why we wanted to like go camping because we're like, oh,
yep,
everyone
for
else is
sure.
camping, but
Yeah,
it's
I could probably do without camping again. Well,
I
first of all, my
could
hips would
I
never
don't
make it
mind
nowadays.
camping in a camper.
Yes,
That
I am
but
like a
like
glamping is
yeah,
kind of
tent camping.
yep.
No, thank you. It's just uncomfortable, and there's just no solid walls. Like the squirrels are gonna get you. Is
They're
basically
gonna
what I'm
eat you
saying.
alive.
Yeah, the squirrels are
Like I
gonna eat you.
Yeah, like, I feel like, oh, what was that, animated movie with Steve Carell, and he was, like, the hamster, and
Oh,
they
over
were
the hedge.
over the hedge, and I feel like
Oh
there
my
was, like,
god,
a crazy
Hammy.
squirrel,
I think
or
his name was
even no,
Hammy.
Open Season, and they had the crazy squirrels in the
No.
wilderness.
Oh yes. No, those were the
Oh,
beavers.
no, I think they had, like, crazy Scottish,
Yeah, those were the
s
beavers.
oh, okay, well, maybe the beavers were gonna get us then.
But the over
Don't
the
know.
over the hedge had the squirrel who was like obsessed with the cookie.
Yeah. So,
Um,
they're gonna get you. They'll get you if you're
Hammy.
camping.
Hammy was the squirrel, I think.
Oh my gosh,
But
she's Googling it now.
yeah.
So what about you guys? Are you fans of, I guess it's like soft cover tenting or camping or versus like a hard topped
Well,
camping?
tent
Um,
camping, just tent camping or other
tent
camping.
camping.
There's
Just
lots of
can't do
camping.
it.
There's tent camping, there's camper camping, there's cabin camping.
Yeah. We've done it all, Ainsley.
We have done it all.
We really have. So out of the three, which do you prefer?
Well, probably a cabin, but actually, I like campers
I like campers
because
too.
you can kind of go places like if you want, you could do a whole camping trip,
Yep.
road trip. Tents, they're just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, obviously, if you have the right gear and stuff, yeah, but if you're not,
Clearly
we
didn't.
did not. No, it was
Hence,
pure
we only
rock.
camped for what? Not even 14 hours? Maybe
No,
12 hours at
yeah,
the
barely
most?
12 hours.
Barely 12 hours? But we ticked it off. It was on our
Yeah,
list. We did it.
but yeah, I guess we only camped a few times. We never camped that much.
No, for being out there for years and years and years
Yeah,
and months at a time in the summer,
I feel
we
like
just
I always wanted to, but like, if I go camp on another island, it's no different than the island I'm living on.
true.
Like,
I never thought about
I think I
that.
liked the idea of exploring more.
Yeah,
Like when I was younger, I loved walking around like that. But so maybe that's why I was like, oh, I want to go camping. I want to
could
go
be.
walk around instead of just like, oh, can we go walk around an island for an hour? No, let's haul all our stuff for 12 hours and
Oh
camp.
my gosh. Oh, I just remember your dad just picking up that whole entire tent,
Mhm.
like a 3-man tent with all the blankets and whatever. It was so much to get it out of the boat afterwards and get all that stuff out of it. Like it was
Yeah.
just a schmozzle in that boat. But oh
Yeah.
my goodness, it was fun. It was
We
a good
did it.
time.
We had a good time.
I mean, it's enough of a good time that we have a good memory about it and we're talking about
That
it.
is
So I
true.
like that.
That is very true. Actually,
Right?
I think about that quite often. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I just do.
Yeah.
Don't know why, but it's just
It's all good.
lodge life. Telling you,
Lodge life. Yes.
lodge
Well,
life.
listen, I didn't, that's, short and sweet, but I like that.
Short
So
and sweet.
short and sweet.
We'll have lots of other lodge life discussions that are longer and
Right.
more in
The
depth.
problem is when we get talking about something, then we remember something else, and then we remember
Yes.
something else. And I mean,
Like
we
the
could
whole
totally.
pregnant situation. That's why we've written it down.
I have a lot to talk about there. Like that's just Mother Nature in every shape and form was telling me not to be out at a lodge. Like, what am I doing
Yeah,
being
well,
eight
because
and a
like
half months
I
pregnant,
didn't
9 months
really
pregnant
think
doing that?
about it until right now that you were pregnant for both of us while at the lodge.
Yeah, I was.
Because we bought the lodge the year before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
So you weren't pregnant at the lodge then?
No.
No.
Well, I mean, over the summer because I
But
had you
then
over the
the
summer.
like the first summer, like the year I was born when you were there,
Yeah,
up for basically the whole season you were pregnant.
I
And
know.
like late pregnant too. Like
Right?
not
Like,
even like the early stages. Like
I know.
because I'm born in August, so that's like
I
kind of
know.
near the end of the season. So you're like
We came out 4
6,
days before
7,
I had you. How
yeah.
ridiculous is that? We came out my due date, and I think you were
And
4
then
days overdue.
you were in the earlier stages with my brother, which would have been a little
Yeah.
bit easier.
But, well, listen,
Especially
we ran
having
into
me running
complications there
around.
too, but it's all good. Alrighty, so let's wrap it up. That was a really fun
Yes.
kind of just quick lodge life deep dive. I liked that.
Yeah.
Camping.
I
Let
like
us know,
I like
people,
this
your
idea
campers.
because even people who have experienced the lodge with us, like there's lots of stories probably like this one that they really
Yeah.
they would never know about.
Yep.
You know?
It's true.
It's fun.
It's true.
It's fun.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday for another Second Saturday.
Yep. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell because as of right now, in this current moment, we are
Okay.
3 subscribers away from 200 subscribers.
No way.
Which is crazy to think.
Woohoo!
We've been
Well, thank
really
you for tuning
climbing
in,
up there.
people.
So, and make sure you come back next week because next week is a special episode. It might be someone's
Somebody's
birthday.
getting older.
And make sure you stay tuned to our like Instagram and TikToks and shorts because I may have something fun planned for someone's birthday. That she doesn't know
Fun.
about.
Okay. Well, I guess I will tune into those
Cool. Yeah.
social media platforms then. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Well, I'm signing off. Thank you for spending the Sunday with us. You have a great
Yeah.
week, and we will see you next Sunday.
Bye.